Hi, boys and girls.
So what do we have in our secret garage today? Looks like a Mazda CX-5 to me. Mazda did a complete redesign starting in the 2017 CX-5 model year. Totally new bodywork on the outside, new interior on the inside, lots of new parts underneath, and a horsepower boost. On the outside, you have to look up close to notice any real changes, but if you do, they are there. This is a late 2017 model. The new 2018s will be out next month. No changes, so all the specs I'm telling you on this will apply to the 2018s. One of the first things we're going to do is take these headlights out and see if they've improved versus the previous models, and we'll do that right now. It's dark enough, let's see what happens. Here we have the low beams on a wall 100 feet away. Adequate enough, at least certainly bright enough. Now we go to the high beam. Plenty there. Here we have the high beams on a building 300 feet away with a chain link fence in between. Plenty of light. Go to low beam. Just barely reaches out, more than adequate. Overall, excellent headlights. No complaints. I forgot to mention the headlights turn with the steering wheel. Great when taking corners, but this is an optional feature. You gotta pay extra if you want extra. The base price of a Mazda CX-5 runs around $24,000. This was the deluxe touring model, which is just under $31,000, but even had more stuff on top of that. Here's the total tab, $34,085. Wow, that's loaded with everything. The 35 grand price tag doesn't bother me. What does bother me is they're charging an extra $70 here for a cargo mat. I mean, come on, guys. This is the deluxe model. Shouldn't that be standard? Pardon my shaking hand. I'm doing that because I don't have a tripod. Although I'm probably shaking from the shock of seeing $70 for a cargo mat. Really, Mazda. Shame on you. I guess this must be the cargo mat in question. 70 bucks worth. But there's a lot of room back here for putting stuff on top of the mat. And we do get a real spare tire under here. Thank you very much. Our brainless federal bureaucrats list this as a 5-passenger, claiming that you can fit 3 people in the second row seating. But as most vehicles in this class, no, you can fit 2. But in this vehicle, 2 very comfortably. And these seats do fold down for more cargo room. The quality of materials and workmanship is a step up over the previous models. Looks rather nice. We get a decent sized glove box. Even more room if you take out the owner's manual, of course, which you should. It gives you something to stick in the rear seat cargo compartment. Climate controls, very simple to use. A couple knobs, a few buttons. The sun visors expand to block out the sun from the side windows, thank you. A good old-fashioned gauge cluster with lots of useful information. Controls on the steering wheel, large enough and easy to use. And we have the large control knob, which gives you different functions. Applications, entertainment, communication, navigation, settings, etc. There is a pain-in-the-butt learning curve to operate this, but after 3 or 4 days, you'll get the hang of it. For those who want to drive quick, you do get a sport mode button. The rocker panels are narrow enough and you will not be getting any dirt on your pants when you step out, because you're protected from dirt, mud, and snow on that bodywork by these long doors that cover everything. Thank you, Mazda. The bottom line, I tried to find something to complain about in this cabin, but I just can't. They did a pretty good job and have it pretty well sorted out. Under the hood, a proven 2.5 liter engine that's bumped up to 187 horsepower. No manual transmission available, just this automatic, although it does have a manual shift override on the stick. Fuel economies rate 23 mpg in the city, 29 on the highway, with a 26 overall. We'll be doing some more driving to see if that's true. So now that we've done the show and tell, it's time to go out and do some driving and fuel economy figures, and let's get started. The CX-5 power steering system has always been excellent. Starting in 2017 model year, they did more improvements. Very responsive, good feedback. No complaints here. While this isn't a sports car, Mazda uses a lot of components borrowed from their sporty sedans, which means it handles very good. So let's do the little circle. And keep in mind we're sitting high off the ground, but we do have all-wheel drive. Bit of squealing from the tires, but still hanging in. Impressed me. By the way, you might have noticed the heads-up display in the window here. Gives you all kinds of useful information, but not for me. I need to find a way to turn that off. Easily done at the touch of a button. I've been doing a lot of driving on the street with this, and I find these 19-inch tires provide a slightly firmer than I would like ride, but it's still comfortable. Nothing to really complain about. So let's do the speed bump test and see what type of racket they make. Here comes speed bump number 1 at 25 miles per hour. Not too bad. Now we're doing 30 miles per hour. Another bump. Not too bad. Here comes the big nasty one. Hang on. Not bad either. I'd say we passed. For the rest of this video, we're going to do some freeway driving to get the maximum fuel economy. And we might do some off-roading as well, so stay tuned. We're going to start the fuel economy testing. Trip number 1, 25 miles in very heavy traffic, lots of accelerating. 17.4, I think that's the worst we're going to see. We're going to reset everything and go to our freeway testing for test number 2. So stand by. For our second fuel economy test, we're going to do a highway trip, approximately 100 miles. I've driven 4 CX-5 vehicles on this road before in previous years. Got around 25 to 27 mpg. We'll see what happens with this one. By the way, this newer CX-5 is a lot smoother and quieter than the previous generation. A nice highway cruiser and very comfortable. Nice seats too. We took a shortcut, so it's only 86 miles, but 26.9 mpg. Slightly better than the previous CX-5s, but not by much. We're going to take a break from the freeway fuel economy driving and do some off-road driving. Hey, it's an SUV, and if it can't go off-road, it shouldn't be called an SUV, right? We have an advantage here because this particular CX-5 has all-wheel drive, so there's no problem or worry about getting stuck in this deep sand. Or should I say talcum powder. And we do have good ground clearance, so there shouldn't be any worry about bumping into rocks underneath the chassis here. Now keep in mind, this is not a Jeep Wrangler or Range Rover, okay? This is based on a car platform, so we're talking light-duty off-roading here. Nothing exotic, no Baja 500 stuff. But for your typical family outings and mild terrain, these type of SUVs are more than adequate for the task, especially if they have the optional all-wheel drive. By the way, if you're wondering what all this goop is on the bodywork, no, it's not dirt, it's car wax. It protects the paint in case we rub up against a thorn bush or something, which isn't likely, but you never know. Then when you're done, you take it back into town, wash it, wipe it off, and the car body looks like new. Nice trick, and it works. One advantage of having a narrow vehicle like this is you can squeeze in tight spaces. You won't be going on a tight road like this in a wide-body pickup truck, that's for sure. Well, here's our secret camping spot. We made it without incident. So we're going back into town, do another fuel economy test, take it to a car wash, get it all spruced up, and end the video. So stay tuned. This is our final road drive, and thus our final fuel economy test. Stand by and we'll give you some figures after we rack up some miles. By the way, one thing I like about this cruise control system, which is optional, you get the choice between radar cruise control, which sets a distance between you and the vehicle in front, which I don't care for, but it can be disconnected to get standard cruise control, which is what I like. But you get a choice here from the mode button. Standard cruise control works for me. Don't need that radar cruise control nonsense. No thank you. So here's our ending mileage, 89.8 miles, 27.3 mpg. One thing I forgot to mention in my video is that unlike other compact Japanese SUVs, this one is actually made in Japan by Japanese workers. This explains the high quality. It also explains why this would be number one on the list if I was looking for a compact Japanese SUV. Plus, on top of that, it's fun to drive. And if you keep the option list down, the price is right. Coming up next, we have some video links for other compact SUVs you might want to watch. And here they are.